A history as long as time itself. This is the land the first inhabitants of South Africa roamed, farmed and lived on. The Khoi and San people lived from the coastline all the way up to the areas we now know as Graaff-Reinet, Kraddock and even the Baviaans.
Since 1652 and before that, there was a big group of Khoi people staying in that specific area, and we call it the Kamdeboer. And if you look to the name Kamdeboer, it's actually also a Khoi word, showing the wide, open, fertile soil and place. People like Jan van Riebeeck and his men, it's written by a certain Mr. Mossop. They came to the Kamdeboer to barter with the Khoi and the San living in that specific area.
Evidence of the Khoi and San people can be found and is protected by the South African National Parks in Kruger, formerly known as Kraddock. These paintings, known to the Khoi people as a map and guideline showing how their people lived, are over 1,000 years old and can be viewed at the Mountain Zebra National Park.
For me to tell people about their cultural history, it's also takes them back to the memory lane of how things used to exist in the past, and so that when they are currently enjoying that, they don't forget about it, so that also in the future. My role here is also to instill knowledge to the people that comes here, so that they can be able to know where we come.
This exquisite and historic valley is the product of volcanic and erosive forces that occurred over 100 million years ago. And although it's a tourist attraction now, the Khoi and San people farmed the lands that lay below the valley and made use of the Sundays River as a water source.
So when we take people to the valley, we always say, you're going to get more than just like a historical perspective on the town, because you get a nice aerial view over Graaff-Reinet from a drive up to the valley. But we take them back to an era that is 180 million years ago, that they call Gondwana land. It was when all the southern continents were one. And during that time, the water level was at a height of about 1,500 meters above sea level. And the basin of this inland sea was at 1,400. So when you stand at the base of the Valley of Desolation and you look up from where we are now, you can see that rock formation. It's about 120 meters high. But when you're on the top looking down, you can see these pillars up close. And then you wonder, how did they get to be here?
Local teachers in the area took advantage of Sandparks Week to bring their learners to the area so they can apply both the history and science lessons in real life.
95% of our children come from households where they are dependent on social grants and they are raised by grandparents, so transport is an issue, and so this is the only time that they get exposed to coming to Sandparks.
It's nice to expose them to different things, and also we try and bring the curriculum in natural science, so they see nature and they see so many different things that they're not used to. And because they don't have the opportunity to get out of their communities, it's always something nice and something fresh to bring so that they can see other environments as well.
Even though there are many places rich in Khoi and San history, the Khoi and San people still feel that their history and culture has been overshadowed. They say this is largely due to the Racial Groupings Act that was introduced in the late 1900s.
That's why our history is not celebrated, and actually they killed us. They were changing the actual Khoi people and the Bushman people or the San people into colored people. And that's why a lot of our culture and our heritage went through the back door or through the window with it. But we are standing up. There's a big movement of the Khoi and the San now to revive that heritage.
The movement includes the reintroduction of the Khoi and San language into communities, as well as the rituals that were performed by these tribes for birth, coming of age, and marriage. The Khoi and San believe this is the only way the culture can be revived and celebrated. Kim Daniels, SABC News, in the Karoo.